Hello, gentlemen. I wanted to bring you kind of like a Politicar rant about Red Dead Redemption 2, but there's an issue. We're not in a car, so no vehicles today. So it's really just a political rant. How about that? Change it up a bit, eh? Anyway. What am I, Canadian? No, I'm not. Full-blooded American. God help me if I was Canadian, eh? I wanted to talk to you about Red Dead Redemption because Arthur and the gang, and especially Dutch, the whole camp, it kind of shows you what happens under the guises of socialism. Now, it's very, I hear a lot of people calling Dutch an anarchist. Now, yeah, they call him an anarchist because of his actions, I suppose. The killing, the stealing, but an anarchist is, it's not, socialism. The camp falls into anarchy because of socialism. Now, we very well know that the gang is it's just very, Dutch is just very, he's like, it's not an anarchist. It's just, he's strictly a socialist. Now, because of his socialist ideas, and because of how he portrays socialism to be, you never hear the word socialism in the gang, but it's because of his socialist ideas. Is, I guess, the only part that's very anarchy is that because of the socialism, the gang falls into anarchy. So that would be about the only thing I'd say anarchist about it. I guess you could say they're all anarchists. Going out killing, stealing, robbing. But well, to me, that's just, comes along with socialism. But here's why I think so. Because any robbery you do on here, whether you do it alone, any cut you take, the gang gets its share. And you could look at Dutch as kind of like the Stalin in all this, because he expects everybody to put in their share and their work, while he just sits around and reaps the reward. So he's kind of like the Bernie Sanders of all this, or the Stalin, or the Lenin, because he doesn't want to do the work himself. He just wants to gain all the money, and that everybody else pays him, pretty much. And he doesn't really do much of the work. He just expects everybody to do the work for him and put money in a box where he can put his hand in. And that's, not once has anybody seen Dutch put anything into the box, or I don't even know if his name comes up in the ledger. So you could say he's like the leadership of the socialism, or he's the of what regime is it? The Venezuela president guy there. Dutch is like him, and the reason I say Bernie Sanders and all that is because they're just really rich, and they want everybody to keep paying their fortune, well, without doing any work themselves. Now, and we know that just through the game, though. We know that the game shows socialism through the game. to each according ability and needs, and however it goes. I mean, you guys, you know. So I think that's one of the things about the game is it just shows you what happens under the guises of socialism, and what happens to the gang at the end of it just completely decaying into anarchy, I guess you could say, is it. That's exactly what you would expect under the guises of socialism. You can look at North Korea, for example. What happened in North Korea is exactly what you would expect under the guises it was founded upon. So yeah, and I think this game sort of portrays that. It shows you that, yeah, you could think of it as, or socialism does is it, yeah, you think you're all working for the greater good of everybody, but really you're working for the greater good of one. And we find that at the end when Dutch tries to, and Micah kind of like use everybody to get the money and run. And, like I said, that's exactly what you would expect under the guises of socialism. Because that's what socialism always decays into, is nothing but complete anarchy. And that's just a fact. Whether you like to hear it or not, I don't care. It's a fact. Facts don't care about how you feel about them. They certainly ain't going to change to your feelings. So how about changing how you feel to the facts presented? I think that, you know, it's kind of like if you're on the phone in Times Square and you can't hear, 100,000 people in the street ain't gonna hang up their phone so that you can talk. No, you're gonna hang up your phone and go somewhere and wait till you have the opportunity to be able to make that phone call. So it's really the same thing. Don't change. Don't try to change the fact to how you feel, because it never will. Reality isn't just gonna shape shift into how you feel. No, you take the facts and you take the reality that's presented in front of you, and you change how you feel about it. You simply have to. Or you just not like it and move on about your day. Because there's really nothing... you can do something about it. You can become whoever to change the policies of that you don't like, whatnot. But, I mean, really there's nothing you can do about it. A fact is a fact. If you don't like it, oh fucking well, And that's the truth about socialism. Anywhere that socialism has been tried, it just completely fell into anarchy, and it shows and depicts that in this game, and that's a fact whether you like it or not. Get over it. Get over it. You whiny ass lib. So, I mean, that's really all I had to say, because... I mean, that's all there is to say. I just wanted to point out... Lily? Shut your fucking mouth. Anyway, I just wanted to say... Jesus Christ. I like Lily. She's one of my favorites. Her and oh my god, Abigail. Everybody thinks... Yeah, I can see why people voted for Sadie being the hottest. I don't care what anybody says. Abigail is fucking gorgeous. Good God Almighty. I know that there's on GameSpot, the GameFAQs, community board or whatever. There's a board where they actually voted on who's the prettiest in the game. And Mary Beth was second, I believe. Sadie was first. She was second. Abigail was third. And that shocked me. I kind of was like, oh man. Abby, damn. I don't know. I'm just into blue-eyed, black-haired chicks, I guess. That's just my thing. But that's why in The Witcher 3, God, I love Yen. Everybody's always trying to romance Triss. Fuck that. Yen is where it's at. So, I mean, I don't know. But I just wanted to point out that everybody's mad that the the gang fell apart like it did. And I just wanted to point out, well, that's exactly what you would expect under the ideas that Dutch found the gang on. His very socialist, Venezuelan Stalin ideas, you know. And so everybody wanted to, and you find that at the end, where everybody kind of wanted to work for themselves, and make and keep what they make. And you see it throughout the missions, how everybody's mad. Like when you went on that homestead robbery with Sean. Sean was mad that he had to. First of all, he was worried about not even getting a cut, and then he was mad that he had to share his cut with the gang. So I mean, it just really, it just shows you that socialism is a no-no, and it's always will be a no-no, especially in the United States. But I mean, come on, please almighty. Yeah. Oh, what are we doing here? You wanna, are you still, going around? Gnarling? I think she's, and she does a little fucking, like, twitch. She does a little, like, twitch too. It's just adorable. Look at, that's how lonely I am. I'm, fucking having to stare at video game characters. Mr. Morgan! I love fucking when he's drunk. Mr. Morgan! It's fucking hilarious. But, no, that's gonna be the video. I just figured I'd just show you why the gang decayed the way it decayed. And it was because of the guises the Dutch founded the gang upon. And whether you're comparing it to the Red Dead Redemption 2 gang, or you're comparing it to the way Stalin ran the Soviet Union, whether you're comparing it to communist China, doesn't matter. It all decays the way it does because of the way that and the ideas they were founded upon. And that's what's most important. And what happens is exactly what you'd expect. So I just figured I'd make a video and point that out. So I hope all you have a good day. And that's why the gang decayed. So everybody have a good one.